everybody, welcome back to Reason for Truth. I want to speak briefly today. If your brother sins against you, what do? If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault. Between you and him alone, and if he listens to you, you have gained your brother. But if he does not listen, take one or two others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of two or more witnesses. Verse 17, if he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you choose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again, I say to you, if two of you agree on earth on anything they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where two or three are gathered in my name, there am I among them. Okay, that's Jesus in Matthew 18, verses 15 to 20. So I want to say this. There's a lot to be said there. Jesus is speaking from his word. He's telling us the exact steps of conflict resolution. I want you to go back, read those verses. I want you to, and we'll go through a few of the highlights here. Let me actually get there. But I think that a lot of times we do not handle things biblically. Matter of fact, I would say it would be interesting to see what the statistical odds are of people handling that, conflict resolution biblically. Okay, so then starting off the 15, if your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. Okay, let me pause there because there's an if that comes right after that. I just want to say this. Most people are unteachable. They don't want to be told what to do, even if they're wrong. They don't want to be confronted. I told you a story a long time ago on this channel. Went to my neighbor, and it's like 101 degrees, burning hot, and he's running a sprinkler in the sunlight. That actually will act like a magnifying glass. Tommy said, you may want to think about that. He just barked at me, jumped down my throat. I said, okay, burn up your grass. You're happy. But, it says, here you go. Didn't have a teachable heart. Didn't want to be told. It says, if he listens to you. That's the big if. Okay? You have gained your brother. That wasn't a biblical thing. That was just people don't want to be taught. But if you're confronting somebody and they listen to you, you've gained their heart, right? And you've really brought correction to their life. But if he does not listen, you take one or two brothers with you. That means go back. Usually in the church, can be one or two other people. Could be an elder or deacons with you. And that every charge may be established by the evidence of two or more witnesses. And if he or she still refuses the two or three witnesses, then you got to notch it up a little bit and you tell the church. So I guess it'll be with your friends, then you go to the deacons and the elders. And if he refuses or she refuses, even then, you go to the church and listen, let him be to you as a Gentile and as a tax collector, which is, in other words, kind of an outcast. And truly I say to you, whoever binds on earth shall be bound in heaven, and it goes on. But, at the end of the day, what they're saying is, when they're talking about being a Gentile, they're kind of saying being an outsider. So a lot of people will interpret that as saying, hey, you no longer can be part of the church. Church needs to excommunicate you if you're not going to right your wrong. And I think it depends, right? If they said the guy stole my parking place, that's one thing. If he's having an affair on his wife or she's having an affair on her husband or something like that, that's, to me, you try to deal with it, and then, you have to be put out of the church. But there's also just some things that are everyday, smaller things that people get. They're they get into it. We all do that to some degree. Let's make sure that, I think if you sit and talk with people kindly and in love, most of the time, if you do so respectfully and out of love, and you have a decent relationship with them, they're gonna sit down and reason with you. Now, if they don't, this is the model how to resolve it. So that's how you do it. You could even do this in a version of it in the world. It'll work. It's just the biblical model is the perfect model. And that's how God tells us to deal with it. So let's make sure we're not gossiping, that we're trying to bring New York justice to the pastor or to ourselves or to our neighbor or family members. And let's make sure we go to the Word, pray about it, and then let's handle things biblically. I think the world would be a better place. And that's all I got to say. That's how we deal with conflict resolution. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you do what? Boom! Gancio Sinistro. Hit that subscribe button and we'll see you at the next episode. I'm your host, Steve Garofalo. You know what I say? This is your Reason for Truth for today.